Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing another video talking about the Walking Dead Season 4 trailer. This one is going to be doing some predictions and discussions as a result of basically the look on Tyrese's face. What is it that he sees at approximately 2:13, 2 minutes and 13 seconds into the trailer? Link to the trailer's in the description. Go to 2:13 and you'll see what we're talking about. Let's get started. Okay, so I hope everyone has seen the Walking Dead Season 4 trailer at this point. If you haven't, go watch it. Click in the description first. Like I said, 2 minutes and 13 seconds is the point at which the topic of conversation for this video, doing some predictions, is focused on. So at about just after 2 minutes, we see Tyrese, and he is walking out of a section at the prison from inside to some kind of outside closed off encapsulated area, I would think, because it probably, just like certain parts where, for example, Rick chased after Andrew and it seemed to be sort of closed off, be something similar to that at the prison. At least it looks like that quite a bit, the door and then, you know, the little section there inside the fences. So what we see at about 2 minutes, basically you have Tyrese, he walks out and he sees a couple of gas, what are they called, like holders or you know, canisters that you put your gas for your lawnmower and that kind of stuff in. And so we see a couple of those with some gas, I believe, there, somewhere near there, and somewhere in and around. And basically then we see him discover something, and the look on Tyrese's face is basically, essentially, well, kind of like terrified and horrified by what he's seeing. You know, great acting by the actor. Just to watch that. I mean, he looks at it, he's kind of like that, like as if he's just seen something so heinous, so brutal that it's hard to describe in words. So what is it, do you guys think, that he has stumbled upon? What is it, do you think, that he has seen? We also see later on in the trailer that he has Daryl. He's grabbing Daryl and pushing him up against the fence, and then Rick's trying to calm him down, and then he turns around and hits Rick with the right hook, knocking him down. So, and then after we see him with some Tyreese with half of his face, like his eye kind of closed in the trailer as well, when he runs out and he's killing all these walkers. So what is it, do you guys think, that he sees there? I think there's a few different possibilities. But number one candidate for me, and also this is probably relating to the fight with Rick and Daryl, and also the part where he's talking to Rick and he's saying, we got to find who did this. That to me sounds like a vendetta. That to me sounds personal. So I wouldn't think it would be some other random person at the prison, like some random kid or something like that. Because that could be something that would be brutal and heinous, and that he would have that kind of emotion when seeing, if there was like a kid that was mutilated or something, or burnt or something of the sort. I can see that as making sense of it. But at the same time, it seems personal, because he wants to go after who did it. He doesn't know who it was. So that being said, I tend to think that it's probably somebody close to him. We know that the only person who is still alive, who was a part of his group, is Sasha, his sister, who we also see earlier on in the trailer, and she's got a sad scene. There's also a scene with her at some point in the trailer, I don't have the time, but where it looks like she's got blood in her hand or something, and she's doing this kind of thing. Blood going out on the ground towards that door, so maybe she was bleeding and crawled or something of the sort, and then he finds her dead or something like that. So for me, that's the number one candidate. That's the number one possibility, is that the person that he sees, or what he sees, is her, and that's why he's freaking out. That's why he wants to find out who did it. All these types of things. Also, lots of speculation about who maybe could be messing with them now at the prison. Could it be the governor? Could it be maybe the Hunters, who are a great group of characters from the comic book series? Did a video discussing that already. Will we see the Hunters in Season 4? Because it's getting close to that time when they would be around. So that makes perfect sense that it could be the Hunters. So that's another possibility too. It may not necessarily be the governor. So that's the first possibility, I think, and the most likely one is that he finds Sasha. Also, they're kind of setting her up with her being bossy at the beginning. They're kind of setting her up for us to maybe not like her so much. At least from my perspective, the feeling that I get towards her, she's not a character that I really like, I would say, personally. You know, I don't really care for her personally. I don't like her face. I've talked about it before. I don't like the way she's telling people what to do. I just, so far from what we've seen of her, I don't really care for the character. I don't really like her, you know? So I tend to think that's probably where they're going with it. But maybe because that's the most logical direction, maybe they're going a different direction to make it more surprising. Because that is a little bit predictable, I would say, that that's the route that makes sense that they would go. And because it sounds so likely and it makes so much sense, maybe it's not. Maybe it's something else. In which case, there are some other possibilities. There are other storylines from the comic book series that we could see here and he could stumble upon. For example, the comic book series, you have Tyreese and Rick, and they get into a fist fight, and in which is a huge fight between the two of them. And it stems from Carol, okay, who's a different character in the comic book series than she is in the television series, even though she shares the same name. Even though she does. In the comic book series, she looks totally different. She's younger, she's got blonde hair, and she actually dates Tyreese, okay? And then basically Tyreese hooks up with Michonne, and that drives her crazy, and she attempts committing suicide and things like this. She does, and eventually she does commit suicide. So, and then Rick blames Tyreese because he cheated on her or whatever. Then they get into this big fist fight. So they might be using that storyline and doing some kind of switcheroo with it, you know, like not making it exactly that way, because I think it'd be weird to see Carol and Tyreese. I mean, you know, they could be a couple in the TV series, but are their ages? I don't know. For some reason, for me, seeing Carol with anybody is strange. Maybe it's because she has gray hair. That's probably why. Not a racial thing. Don't get me wrong. Like you guys know me. You know, I'm not about that kind of stuff. I don't care about, you know, things like that. But I think that would just be a weird, because Carol also has had that thing with Daryl going on, which could have something to do with him. And to add to that, we also have a scene in here where Beth is looking like she's pretty close in terms of bubble space to where Daryl is in the scene too. So it could be somewhat related to that there as well. And maybe, I don't know, maybe Beth could be the one to fill Carol's shoes and her commit suicide, and then Tyreese get mad at Daryl or something because he rejected her or something of the sort like that. You know, there's a number of different possibilities. So it could be Beth too, I think. That's a possibility. Carol, I mean, I tend to think not really. You know, they would have kept her around all this time. I think she's a survivor, at least for a little while. Could be some kids or something. You know, just some random kids or something like that he sees. Because if you do see random, like a kid like that, like just mutilated or something, or being eaten alive, or eaten by a zombie or something like that, he could get that kind of reaction from. Let's see, any other possibilities? I mean, there's always the odd chance of something that I haven't thought of. You know, some other character that could be there, or something else. You know, lots of different possibilities. But judging by the emotional response, I would have to say the most likely candidate is Sasha for me. So let's hear what you guys have to say about it. What do you guys think he stumbles upon? Who do you think it is? What's the circumstances? And also, if you have any, if you have any reason to think of it being a certain person or something for your prediction or whatever, please explain in the comments. Please describe why you think what you think. And also, too, afterwards, he is kind of losing his mind, and he's killing all those walkers, and his face is all bruised up. So that tends to tell us that that happens after he fights with Rick and Daryl. So maybe he does lose Sasha at that point. Kind of clumsy, if that is the case, and they're not throwing us through a switcheroo. Kind of clumsy for them to put that in the trailer, because based on the trailer events, we can already deduce before the series is even close to starting that it's probably her. Unless I'm totally off base here. They probably should not have put that in the trailer. Huh. Maybe they just didn't think anyone was nerdy enough to go through and think all the way through that and do a video on YouTube and post it out there, posting possible spoilers for the next season. This is just a prediction. I don't know for sure this is going to happen, but it seems like it. I'm just saying, you know, if the shoe fits, you wear it, son. You wear the shoe. That's all I'm saying. Okay, any other ideas, post them below. That's it for this one, guys. Oh, by the way, lots of different topics for the trailer. Any other suggestions, please write them below. Thumb them up if you want to see them made into a video. Got lots of stuff to talk about with the new trailer. Lots of things we can speculate on, do predictions on, have lots of fun with. So I'll call it here. That's it for this video, guys. I'll see you for the next one. This is Trev, and I'm saying peace.